Traders, I look forward to sharing my top ideas for the upcoming week, including my entry and exit targets for some of those ideas. So without any delay, let's get right into it this week. First up, let's look at the current theme emerging from Friday, which are energy stocks, specifically small cap, low float oil stocks. Let's pull up HUSA to start with. With the situation in the Middle East, on Friday, several low float small cap oil names like HUSA, like RBNE, like Indo, and several others were significantly in play. HUSA and RBNE especially, they're made for fantastic trading vehicles, areas where I was able to capitalize pretty well on Friday, on both sides, keeping an open mind. Now heading into the weekend, I used sort of some of that cushion to maintain some long exposure. With tensions rising and the situation quickly evolving, anything's possible. But really, with oil likely to gap, I expect at least some early action in these small cap oil names. Different completely, but similar to my plan and circle from last week. I'll be looking for any early momentum across the board in these names, especially focusing on HUSA and RBNE, in terms of liquidity and range there. But I'll be looking for any early action, momentum, and a squeeze higher in the pre-market for some follow through. Now I'll be looking to shift my focus in HUSA, in RBNE across the board, if and once they're able to squeeze out in the early hours, from 4 a.m. onwards, really. Now, alternatively, if the situation changes and they fail to gap and at least retest Friday's high in the early hours, if the situation changes drastically overnight, then I'll be shifting my focus completely and developing a bias and looking to short any failed follow through against key levels from Friday, upward of Friday's high. But it's important to remember that anything's possible. You don't want to get too biased with these names. Obviously, they low float. They are heavily shorted intraday. And anything is possible with them. Similar to Indo from a few years back in March of 2022, where the stock ran really from 15 to 86. So anything is possible with these names when you have a significant catalyst geopolitical tensions at play. So you definitely don't want to get too biased and get ahead of yourself and get over your skis early on. All right. So with all of that being said, small cap oil names definitely going to be a main focus. The energy sector as well, and the overall market SPY and Qs. With everything that's going on given the current developments. But with that being said, here are some additional ideas and additional plays. Starting off with Corewave for a potential consolidation breakdown. So I wouldn't be looking to position in Corewave short, until the key level is broken and really firms as resistance. So that area looking at Friday's low, after triple-digit move since its IPO, we're still consolidating near highs, but it is beginning to show some signs of exhaustion, failing to follow through, and starting to put in consecutive lower highs just day after day on the daily. So the main thing for me, as we continue to struggle to hold this rising 10-day SMA, if we can break and hold below Friday's low, then in that case, I'd be looking to get short if that area can hold up intraday and firm as resistance around the low 140s. And I'd really be targeting a move towards the rising 20-day, so 125. And this area, particularly not only because it's a 20-day, because it previously acted as the reset before we broke out and had a fresh day one breakout. So this is previous resistance, which now could firm as support if we were to retest it. So that is where I would be looking to take off a short position into that area. Now, if Corewave does continue to just base above 140s, then it's a void, and there's really no position to be short at all. Next up, quantum names after last week's failed follow through. QUBT specifically, I'll be looking at this one after last week's failed breakout and move higher. I definitely would be inclined and be setting alerts around key areas to be getting short on any failed follow through to the upside. Now, importantly, I'm not looking to chase weakness at all. Like I said, I'm not looking to short in the whole. I'd be looking for previous tests into failure areas, previous areas of support over the last couple of days, which might now act as supply and resistance going forward. So for me, that's around 1750. So for me, that's 1750, where we failed on Friday, where we broke down from the previous day, and then going into that 1850 area, which previously acted as support, and then we experienced some failed follow through on Thursday before breaking down. So 1850 and 1750 are the key areas, notable areas that I'll be watching for potential failed follow through to the upside for a short. All right, and then lastly, just for some potential swing longs across the board, you can probably already tell from the ideas that I've shared. I'm not entirely focused there and prioritizing that for the upcoming week, but I'm going to be monitoring several names, but again, not in a rush to initiate any fresh positions. Especially relevant in names like Tesla, in names like ALAB, in names like HIMS, Nebius, several names that have led in their sectors and hot sectors. But as I mentioned in my most recent IA meeting, a pullback in the overall market, a fresh high low within this uptrend, it would be healthy. It would allow leading names, the overall market, to reset, to rest, to consolidate, really correct and stabilize itself over time, providing some fresh skewed risk reward for fresh entries to the upside, for continuation to the upside. That's what I'm focused on. I'm not focusing on buying breakouts in names that have extended 100, 200% from their 200-day simple moving average. Several leading names and sectors are above their 200-day, 100, 150% consolidating at highs. I'm not looking to chase highs in those names. I'm looking for leading names that are pulling back into key areas or consolidating, and hopefully display some relative strength to the overall market where we do pull back and consolidate for several days. So from a swing perspective, that's what I'm looking at, with a growing list of names and alerts set on that watch list. So with that being said, that's everything for the upcoming week. Again, most of the focus will be on small cap, oil names, the energy sector, and the overall market SPY cues for intraday momentum trading. And let me know in the comments what your top watches are coming into the week, what names you have on your list, names that you're stalking for positions, and wishing you all good luck for the week, and I'll see you next week.
So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you deserve, and you just can't figure out why you can't become profitable no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. This is your competition. The traders in this room. This room right here is full of elite traders, some of whom are making 7 and even 8 figures a year. In fact, our top guys have made nearly 20 million each in net trading profits in a single year. Let's head to my office so I can share more. So you're probably used to seeing videos of lavish trader lifestyles, trading gurus trading off of a laptop for an hour a day, heck, maybe even 15 minutes a day, and then them relaxing on some secluded beach for the rest of the day. Well, all I can tell you is that our traders train like pro athletes. They live and breathe the markets and are continually working on their trading skills. Because at our firm, that's what we found it really takes to make it in this game. I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder and managing partner of SMB Capital, one of the world's top proprietary trading firms located in Midtown Manhattan. And we're always looking for trading talent to hire and develop. And not just to trade in-house on our desk, but also to trade from their own home, entirely using our firm's capital. And we have numerous traders doing just that, allowing them to make upwards of 7 figures trading the firm's capital without risking their own money. But to even get a shot at something like that, you need to have the right training. That's why we're doing a new free online presentation in which we share how you can get an interview with SMB to become an in-house or remote trader, trading firm capital without risking yours, and gaining access to all of our firm's coaching and resources. And the best part, you don't have to be a profitable trader yet. In fact, we prefer to mold profitable traders with our methods and our techniques. That's why we have just 3 simple criteria that can earn anyone an interview. We're looking for highly ambitious and determined traders who fit our culture first and foremost. So if you believe that could be you, sign up for the free 1-hour online presentation by clicking the link that's in your top right corner of your screen now.